Am I always this naked, you may ask? Well, of course not. But I do prefer to tell the naked truth. You see, I like it juicy, raw, and uncensored. The truth, that is. Hey there again, everyone. So on November 2nd, we had, at least in New York, I think throughout the nation, voting day and early voting, of course. Did you get to vote? Who'd you vote for? And which was your party? I know, that's a taboo question. We're not supposed to talk about who your political party is and say about religion and about sexuality. Like, who set up these rules and why? And also, people are not supposed to leave. You're not supposed to live with your best friend. You're not supposed to live with someone that you sleep with, like a roommate you sleep with. Like, who made up these rules? I do understand those rules are there because the majority probably had made mistakes, and then they say, okay, this is what not to do. And also, we're not supposed to talk about our favorite sports team. And I do understand why, but why are we living life like this? Why can't we not talk political with our friends or even strangers? Why can't we talk about religion with anybody? Why can't we talk about our favorite team or teams that we dislike with friends, family, or anybody? And I do understand maybe the answer is, so I've seen in life, is that people will fight. They'll take it like, well, like it's something so precious, like World War III. Like if I say, hey, I'm Brazil fan, real Brazil fan. I'm Brazil fan and Argentina, of course, when it comes to soccer. When it comes to hockey, I'm a Bruins fan because, of course, I'm from Boston, sorry. And when it comes to football, American football, I'm a Patriots fan because I'm from Boston. But when it comes to baseball, I am a Mets fan. So I'm not from New York, I'm from Boston, but I do not like Red Sox. And so, but we're not talking about sports today, but we're talking about political parties. So have you probably noticed and you've seen that there are two major political parties. The left, Democrat, leftist, liberals or whatever, and there is the Republicans, the far right, etc. So why are these two parties always fighting? Aren't we supposed to be all Americans? So if you're on the right and you dislike the left, I understand if you're on the right, you're not the left, but isn't it the left still American? And if you're on the left and you vote for the left, of course, Democrat, isn't it the right American? Why do you need to fight each other like we are some different country? Even if you're a different country, you're not supposed to fight with other human beings to begin with, but they are fellow American. So someone who is a Republican or a Democrat can live in the same house or the same building or the same city. So why the hate? And I do understand, of course, it's a rhetorical question, but why, the question is, why are you, if you're the person I'm speaking to, why are you okay at hating another human being or their political ideas? Do you want monarchy back? Do you want a one-party system where one party does everything and everyone goes along with it, like it or not? Do you want things like communism or whatever, socialism? And I understand a lot of people like these. However, do you want a one-party system? If that's what you want, say it. Don't say, hey, we're voting, but you're actually not because you want one thing. So I want to tell you a story. Prior to 2016, I voted Democrat. And because when whatever happens in 2016, I'm still registered Democrat, and I voted Republican, especially in the presidential. Hey, I'm finally out the Trump closet, and I am not afraid to say it, because I am tired of people hating. I'm tired of people witch hunting. I'm tired of people canceling. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to live back in 200 years ago? Are you trying to go back in the dark ages where people could not speak, where people could not believe in what they believe in, regardless what it is? Like, come on, like, what's going on here? Do you have some trauma? Do you need to see a therapist? I think that's what the core of it is. If you have some trauma that you cannot live with someone with a different idea other than you, someone who vote different than you, someone who have a different sports team different than you, someone who listen different music or whatever it is, then I'm not usually one to point it out, but I'm sorry, you have a trauma and some personal issues that you probably need to check. And that's not my problem, and that's not my issue to tell you, but that's what today is a podcast about. Okay, so moving on. Yes, presidential, I voted for Trump, and I'm no longer in the closet. I'm no longer feeling shame about it, and I have no guilt, and I don't care about judgments. And I am free. And funny story, people have labeled me whatever, and I have never came out of any closet except for today's closet, the Trump closet. Even the clock agrees. So let's wait for it. So yes, I'm finally out of the Trump closet. And it feels liberating. And I do understand what the LGBTQ community and other people finally feel when they come out of a closet. Is that how you feel, right? Like, why are you pushing someone into the darkness? Why are you pushing someone into a closet? Why are you telling someone that their lives do not matter? And it's ironic, a lot of these people who are going out as allies to say Black Lives Matter or Trans Lives Matter or anything else matter, but then there are the same people who are out to persecute and put out hate as if that person's life does not matter. And we see you. We see you. And thanks to Dave Chappelle, which has brought out a lot of people to have them have the bravery to speak out and be like, hey, we have the right as human beings to believe whatever we want to believe in. And as long as we're not hurting others and you, and your feelings are your feelings, and no one can hurt your feelings. Only you with your trauma and your lack of whatever, only you can hurt your feelings. No one, if you feel that someone can say something or believe in something, and because of that your feeling is hurt and you cannot sleep at night because of that, then again, you need to see a therapist. You need to check your trauma for your better well-being. So moving on. So I'm still registered Democrat, but in the past elections, when it's local, I vote Democrat. And only one time when it was presidential, of course, I voted Republican. And last election, I also voted Republican. So because what's her name? As Candace Owen puts it, blacks it, hashtag blast it, and walk away, whatever this other guy is. And so you may ask, hey, am I a swing voter? What is my political party? I'll tell you this. My political party is peace. And my religion is love. So whoever I interact with, I make sure peace is my focus. And love is my focus. And I'm in the right side. And I'm on the side of what is right. And what feels right for me. And not what is right for you. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. in a group, or some people might call it a cult, where people are forced to believe in specific things, and if you do not go along with it, you get shunned and persecuted. Not exactly persecuted, but you get shunned for it. And I will not, and I allow myself to go back in a hole, in a closet, and I am out of this closet. I'm out of this Trump closet, and I will not go back. And I am tired of mostly, and of course, you know who I'm talking to. In my experience, you know who does the Marxism and the hate and the canceling. I'm not afraid of any of these people. Hey, listen, I'm immigrant Haitian. Do you know the history of Haitians? And I am black. As a quote says, black, you cannot scare black people. You cannot destroy black people. Hey, they tried. So what can anyone do to me because of that? But anyway, I am promoting love and peace. So I hope you find this video well. And if you don't, it's okay. I still love you, because I believe that the right and the left, we are all Americans. We should be together for a union cause. And even if you disagree, it is okay. Because if you disagree with your family, if you disagree with your friends, your coworkers, someone on the train, what do? Do you put up arms to fight them, to kill them? Like, really? Really? Please, I implore you to think about this again. So let me get to the story. So 2018, I've been talking to someone. He changes his name a lot, but he's known as Heath Rasner. And he ran in Miami-Dade. I forgot what he ran for. But he ran in Miami-Dade, and we met on Facebook. So we've been talking, and of course, I personally had attraction toward him, and I think he did too, because we talked about it. And then when I knew he was running, and of course, because of my attraction, and we've been talking for months, and you might ask, hey, is it my attraction that led me to go and help him in Florida? Not exactly. But we spoken for months, and he knows that people have called me conservative, but I just call myself a free thinker. Okay? I'm a free thinker. I do not let other people think for me, and I think for myself, and I make my own decisions. So that's with that. And so he accepted who I vote for. He accepted my ideas. And funny thing is, we are different people. We often speak different things. And when we get together and we speak, we have respect, love, empathy, and understanding. Even sometimes we don't understand each other. I think he doesn't understand me a lot. And I do understand him, but we have love for each other. And the love for each other is not, we're not thinking with our genitals at all. And actually, when we met, like, we didn't do any of this stuff. So I've stayed there for 10 days, and my agreement with him was, I'm going to support you 100% with whatever you need. And the only thing you have to cover is my travels, going back and forth, because I had to go flyer for him to the polling stations, etc. So my story, I feel, was very inspiring, because I'm someone who voted Republican, and I went to help my friend to win a Democratic election. Have you done anything like that for a friend? Have you done anything like that for anyone? If you have, please let me know in the comment below or message me. And if you haven't, it's okay. It's okay, you don't have to. But think about why you wouldn't if that person was a friend or a family. Or would you shun them and discard them and reject them and think of them as terrible people just because of their beliefs different than you? And funny thing is, on Facebook especially, a lot of Democrats think, because of what I post, I'm conservative and Republican. A lot of Republicans on my Facebook think I'm a Democrat. And both had messaged me, hey, speeches or whatever, and both had either unfriend me or blocked me or get mad when they exit. And funny thing is, because they don't know, they just assume, instead of having a conversation, people are quick at throwing daggers and blocking people. And I do understand where they're coming from, but come on, people. This is bonkers, like, really. So anyway, I went to Florida to help my little brother. I call him Rasner, and you'll see why he's my little brother. I actually asked him permission to make a video about his name and posted photos. I'll post a photo. And so I went to help him. And throughout that time, I was still in the trunk closet. And because I had shame, I had fear, I had doubt, and I had guilt. And those things no one should have. Especially, I would say, in the 98% of should not have kind of a thing. Because, anyway, so you get my point. So, of course, unfortunately, he did not win in a landslide. But I celebrated him. We went to his parents' house. And, of course, a lot of people there were Democrats. And I was still in the closet. And there was this lady with her children who were Democrats, and that lady was Republican, and she was a proud Republican, and she inspired me. And then secretly I told her, hey, I'm Republican too, so I got your back, because the other guys who were there were shitting on her because she was Republican, because she was cheering for the Republicans, and because she was talking about Republican stuff, and they were shitting on her for that. So I went to her, I was just like, hey, by the way, I registered Democrat, and I will not change that registry, but I vote Republican when I see fit, because as an American, I have that right and no one should take it from me, even if they're trying to bully me or try to cancel, and that will not work. Thank you, Lord Chappelle. Side joke. So, yeah, and so I was really happy, and thank you as well, Rasner, for accepting me as a stranger who you first met, and as someone who was willing to go to Florida to help you for 10 days, because I believed in you, and I, of course, hope that you won. But as we know, things happen for a reason in life. You did not win. You are doing whatever you're doing now, and I do hope that you're happy. And if you're not, that okay too, because that's your life. You can do whatever you want to do with your life. So this is my story. November 2nd, I did not vote because I've taken a stand. I will not vote for any party except for if Candace Owens or Trump runs again, then I will vote, of course. So there you go. I'm no longer in fear of shaming. So anyway, but I will not go voting until, whichever comes first, until everyone in these United States of America chooses love, acceptance, kindness, compassion, empathy, respect for each other. And of course, if you have those things inside of you, those things will come out easy. And if you do not have those things inside of you already, and you aspire to be these things, please, I implore you, for your sake, and of course everyone else around you. I understand that you're wounded, you're hurt, and you're bleeding. So therefore, when you bleed on others. Hurt people after all. I do understand that. And I feel for you. However, please do not become what you hate the most. Please do not become the bullies. Please do not become the executioner, the witch hunter. And I'm sure if you live 300, 400 years ago, you would be against those people. And you've been against these people for decades and years. But please look inside a mirror. Look at your reflection. Whoever that shoe fits, or I like the saying, if the hoochie skirt fits, whoever I'm talking to and you're feeling that, and if you have humanity inside of you, even if you're left, even if you're right, look inside the mirror. See an American who is on the opposite side, and apply love toward yourself and each other. So this is my story today, and thank you for coming into this journey with me of unveiling the mask and rejecting shame, judgment, fear, doubt, and guilt for myself and for others. I love you whoever you are. Namaskar.